PTR.
And PTR, yeah.
Is there somewhere where I can find the screenshot?
I
Yes, you
don't
will
remember
find
where
it
I posted it.
under PTR test and feedback channel. Wait, I'll link it in discussions question.
Oh my god, there's so many channels in here.
Yeah, I linked it.
Oh, you linked it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sound like an idiot. Where do I see the link?
Okay, I tagged you.
Alright, now I see it. Okay, thank you.
Well, since PTR opened, I've been looking at all the new UI. It is good. It's actually what was needed, not only for, well, it is actually what should have been done in the first place. It has been a long time coming though, because we've been asking for it. How long has it been?
Last
And-
year, August.
Nearly a year. Nearly a whole year we've been asking for it, yeah. So, but yeah, it actually looks good. I actually like it, personally. It will be a bit confusing at first due to everybody being used to the one we have now. But I think once you get used to it, you'll come to realize it's a lot better. And I read somewhere that one of the guys concerned was, oh, but now it's not the rally banner that's going to cover it. Now it's going to be the actual rally sign on the side. But it actually doesn't cover it because it pops up above it, so not so bad. So far, for the March interface, all I can say is good. Finally, I really hope we get it on the next update, and then not the one after.
So looking at the picture, I'm happy about it. I also see a fourth option possibly, and room for more. So I hope they add a lot more, because why limit us? I don't like limitations. But yeah, this looks a lot better. It's just so sad that it took them so long, while changing everything else seems to come so regularly.
Is it possible to stream a little bit on here? I've got BlueStacks open. I could actually show a bit of it if possible.
Teddy, I think that's a question for you.
No, I don't think so. On this stage channels, you can stream. So we have to move to voice channel to stream. So we'll keep it. We'll keep it for the next time.
I
Yeah,
am
that's
actually
no problem.
streaming from PTR, but I cannot do this at the channel. I think next time, if we are going to do a podcast, we're just going to use the normal one instead of the stage channel, because it doesn't allow us to share the screen.
Understand. That's okay.
Okay, so I really liked the new UI they put in. The white looks really nice, in my opinion. About the Capital Clash Lid Zone, what I don't like about it, I mean, it's going to change the whole event for sure when defending and attacking, actually. And it's probably going to be way better, but the thing I don't like is the restriction on time. Meaning that if you want to go and fight for a spot, you have to be there when the alert zone opens up for porting. If you're not there, you're probably not going to get a spot. If you're not some ultra big whale that can hit whoever they want. And that's pretty much the only issue, but now you won't be able to bubble as well, which which restricts the weaker players even more. They have to be further back than they would be usually. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about the whole alert zone thing. I guess I'll have to see for myself and then judge it based on how it plays. Can't really say much for now.
I feel kind of the same though. It wasn't good either. Like how it was, the defending one would have the upper end. You could just block it off 4 or 5, and some of these people have so much control over so many accounts, and they just block 4, 5, 6 sections off, depending on how the age of the state, and you wouldn't even get close. So that's not fair either. I do get why it's changed like it's going right now, but at the same time you have to keep in mind that the free-to-play players, like how they can't shoot up anymore. If somebody's offline for just, let's say, an hour or two, you really have to pour it away. It's new pros and cons. It's good in a way, and it's also bad. It's always going to be very difficult to make this right for the free-to-play players.
I think they didn't need to add the thing about you not being able to bubble. Because if you're strong, you don't need to bubble. If you're weak, you can't be in the alert zone.
Since everybody got ported away from the beginning, so space is available if you're active and fast.
Bubble doesn't play any part.
Yeah. The bubble could probably be removed without it influencing the result.
I've heard some things about some players. I don't know how everyone feels about macros, but I've heard some people leaving their BlueStacks open with a macro that's spam clicking the relocate button constantly. So, maybe if you're bubbled for like 24 hours and you put on a macro spam clicker that can relocate instantly when it's available, take up the spots. And if everyone does it, you could cover the whole alert zone with bubbled farm accounts. So maybe that's a reason why bubble is not.
Could be, yeah. Kind of wish one of the developers would be here. Sorry, Leo.
No, I was just about to ask if anyone has opinion regarding the same, who has joined PTR and looked at it.
I personally actually like the whole idea of it. Of course, it will give the invading state a better chance. It will give obviously people more reason to be online when it starts. But we all know that's not possible for everyone because of time zone. So then again, you'll have one state that's got most active players from a different time zone where it's like 2 a.m. And then you've got my state who mostly are from very close to UTC, which means they will be online on time. So it's not a bad thing, but maybe they could have done it with like 2 sides of the capital instead of all 4. That could have been something that would have worked for both. To give the invading state a chance as well as the defending state a chance. Because we all know a lot of states out there are dead. So when it comes to state versus state, the best thing they can do to win is defend. So with this, they are literally just going to lose.
Yeah, I think 4 sides actually make sense, considering that you would probably have 2 top alliances defending, 2 top alliances attacking. So you would need to have them spread around the map. So having 4 sides, I guess, is reasonable and logical. Maybe speaking about two sides, I think that would be more suited for the regular CC, where you would be only fighting inside the state, and would probably prevent the small alliances from being bounced from the grounds, and then you would have a slightly amended rule for the regular CC. But it's clearly the whole thing is targeted towards the SVS, and I agree with the panelists that the change is good in the sense that it gives a little fairer chance to the attacking state to enjoy the game. Otherwise, there is nothing worse than launching the rally 6 rows behind and waiting for 10 minutes for March, and meanwhile you have a ghost rally launched on you, and the whole thing just kind of loses the sense. So I really support the change. It's rough around the edges though right now on the PTR. I played around with it, and you cannot, for example, buff up if you are on the inside the zone. It looks like the rule which disables the bubbles also disables the 12-hour the headquarters buffs. So they certainly need to work more about how to implement the feature properly. And also the porting, I think, didn't work as it should. I basically parked my base in the alert zone, and it was not ported away randomly. So maybe they still need to work out how this should be implemented. But generally, I think the direction is right. And on the March interface, I was really happy to see that they added the fourth preset. I think this is a very good change, especially for players actively doing the trap, for example, where they can have one additional preset for the trap formation. This will certainly boost their score on the trap and essentially allow them to get better ranking and more materials for their hero gear. So that change is very, very welcoming. And obviously, no need to say that putting the presets away from the banners is something that we've been asking for quite a long time, and I'm happy to see that being implemented now.
All right, thank you guys. I got a follow-up question though regarding the PTR test that we're having now. Do you think with how they are setting up the Capital Clash rules, it is easier or fair to the invaders now, to both invaders and defenders? And what do you think are the pros and cons of that?
For me personally, and it might not even be because of the PTR, but while defending you did have a certain advantage, and with defending you already have a risk. Let's say you're a little bit of an older state than the other one, and you have less activity. Activity is going to determine if you're going to win it or lose it. And spending, of course. Spending shouldn't be punished, or non-spenders shouldn't be punished so hard. I have seen some states in the past that didn't have maxed out players, so it's impossible for them to, let's say, win. So if they get invaded and also lose, they get no government.
Oh, he just got disconnected.
Yeah.
Discord can't handle us, I think. Even my YouTube cannot. So we're just going back to that. Batman get disconnected.
Oh,
He's
he's
back.
back.
Welcome back.
You have to kick me with that warning rule.
Is it?
I'm just joking. So now I'm out of my element. Where was I?
Alright,
Yeah,
going back to
non-spenders
you
shouldn't
then.
be. Non-spenders shouldn't be punished so hard. Like having no governor while losing defending, that's something that they might change along with what they're changing right now, because defending has already lost something, so it's probably going to be hard for them to still win capital depending on the circumstances. Like every state is different, so that's something that I would keep in mind.
The way I see it is instead of, because this alert zone thing kind of acts like a nerf for defending, and in game design in general, nerfing is usually bad. It's better to buff something than to nerf something. So if they instead decided to buff invading, like give them extra, like more healing or bigger hospital capacities, some stats, maybe bigger rallies or whatever. There's a lot of things that can come to mind when trying to buff something, but buffing is always better than nerfing in game design, from talking from experience. So yeah, that's what I think they should have done. Would have been way better than, because defending it's always risky. Invading, you lose more, but there's no risk. You don't lose anything when invading, even if you lose.
Next, I think we will have Trip, and then Dr. Survivor, Phoenix, Negan, and then Red Fox. If you have any, or what is your take about this current new rules that you have set out for capital rules? Do you think this is fair for both defenders and invaders? What are the pros and cons of that?
You see, with a defending or invading, yeah, it does kind of make it tricky because, okay, it's a good thing. This will help the invaders actually even more. I mean, when a state doesn't win the prep stage, you kind of know it's not as active. So you know it's kind of going to be easy to invade. So this will make it even easier. But with it, I think they should at least make the rule that, okay, here is your way of winning easier, but if you do win, if you do lose after invading, you can't still keep your governor, because that is, I mean, I only found out three state versus state ago that when you invade, win or lose, you still keep your governor. And I was like, boy, so what's the point of even like trying to prep stage or governor, you know? But I don't know. In my opinion, also as my state is going to be a bit like tricky because we haven't lost state versus state yet. That we invaded or defended, we haven't lost one. But it's going to need a lot of different strategies. That is for sure.
Alright, thanks, Trip. Next is Dr. Survivor.
I haven't really seen much on like PTR. I'm not in it myself. But based on like what you guys have been talking about and what I've seen like in videos and that sort of stuff, I like the new like interface where there's the extra March slot, like for saving your formation. It looks alright. The capital clash thing, it's very like iffy in terms of like opinion, where like I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if bubbles get removed outside of that like 4 rows as well, because it could still be like helpful if you can have people in outside the 4 rows and then just bubble the accounts there, and it's just you have to fight for those first 4 rows. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it will be helpful in SVS. But then again, with the nerfing, as you said, that also makes sense as well. It will make it a bit less enjoyable, but also more enjoyable for different people, depending on how they like to play the game. Not a lot of people like killing off a large amount of troops, trying to get front row spots. So if it opens up automatically for them, then they'd probably be happier doing that instead of killing off their troops. We've had instances before during SVS where one of our players has completely killed off all of their infantry before the fight even started, just trying to get people spots, which wasn't really good for them, but they were also able to help time rallies and stuff like that because they couldn't really join much. So that was helpful a little bit. Other than that, I can't really say much on it.
Okay, I just tried relocating not on the alert zone, and it didn't remove my shield. So yeah, just found out now. And about the March interface, I like it actually because it was very annoying with the during trap when I cannot change the formation or choose the formation that I want because of the pop-ups. So it's good that they change it now. And for the alert zone, I think it takes away the advantage for the defending side because in my 108 I've learned to love defending because we get to plan and then execute our strategies like 2 3 days of porting people to the cup and then making plans with other alliances. It was fun for us actually. And with the alert zone, it takes away that part of SVS because we cannot port people days before, and then I don't know how to plan like just an hour or like seconds of porting people there. It will be like a mess. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen next SVS with this alert zone because definitely I can, if I'm the governor, I cannot coordinate the whole state and port everyone there like the way we did before. So it's gonna be so risky when we choose to defend. And for the invading side, it's definitely an advantage for them because before they have to fight through a lot of rows in order to get to the front. So it's an advantage for the invading side, not much for the defending. Yeah, and so I tried in PTR. It didn't, as Negan said, it didn't port us out. An hour or I think 8 UTC was it. It didn't port us out because my HQ was there in the alert zone, but it was still there. But the shield was down. So yeah, that's what I observed with the alert zone.
Thank you guys. So my take for those settlements that are unbubbled are not ported out, it's because it's one of their strategy. It's either a glitch or literally what the developers added. What they mean, I think, for me personally, I'm thinking that what they said about 2 hours before the capital clash, those who are bubbled there should be ported out. But let's see, I'm not really 100% sure if that will be the rule or they're going to change that since they are still in PTR. And at the same time, like what the rest has said, that when you are in the alert zone, you cannot use your settlement buffs if you are going to go through your HQ. But if you have some stuff in your backpack, you can actually activate it. The only thing that is not restricted for you to use is are the HQ skin, your Mancha skin, and then your frame skin. And do you have other addition to that, guys?
I think the way it was supposed to work was, in that time frame, the towers were activating some sort of lightning, and I think it was supposed to hit the bases and reduce our wall defense to 0 and then port us away. But apparently that did not happen, so it looks like some sort of bug, and something was certainly activating because we got the mail saying that our bases were ported, but in reality they were not. So something probably that developers need to work on. I think the mechanic of porting the base is already there. You just need to reduce the wall to 0. They need to implement the way of achieving that via the towers, so that it affects only the alert area, and clear out the bugs and see if that works actually. But that's my assumption.
Leah, do you have anything to add on it before we forward?
I don't think so. You guys have covered much of it, and as Negan said, that the lightning from the tower should be working to port out the settlements. But yeah, it's kind of a bug, so they will fix it before launching, and it's not like they are launching to all the states at once. It's going to be tested into some of the states first, and then they are going to launch it.
Alright, thanks. So before we go to number 6, which is actually one of the most popular question that most players wanted, I wanted to ask you guys about your opinion about Ghost Rally. I've been reading discussion questions, and our other players or other friends are talking about Ghost Rallies. So what are your opinions when it comes to that? Is it a glitch, or it is a hidden feature? Or if it is a hidden feature, do you think what are the pros and cons of the Ghost Rallies?
Can I ask a really basic question, which is on what streaming platforms is this podcast going out? What media platforms?
YouTube, right?
Yes, we are on YouTube.
Well, and we are here too, so YouTube and Discord.
Yeah, YouTube, yeah. Sure. Thank you.
What was the question? Is a Ghost Rally a bug or a feature, a hidden feature? And the opinions on the Ghost Rally itself.
Yeah, so the question is, what is your take on Ghost Rallies? It is a glitch or a bug, or it is a hidden feature? And if it is a hidden
It looks like a bug. It looks like a bug. It plays like a bug. The fact that the rally itself is invisible after it starts marching looks really buggy. I think it's a bug, but it can be turned into a feature. If they add if you can see the rally in the UI, I see nothing wrong with starting a rally on yourself. I don't see a reason for that to not be part of the game. It adds a layer of strategy, timing. It makes it a lot more fun, but you can't see them when they're coming towards you, and that's the one thing I don't like about them.
This is always as I think I need to allocate who is going to talk. So Dark Force is finished. Right, Fox. We go with Trip, Batman, and Phoenix, and then Dr. Survivor.
So who's up for talking now?
Either you or Trip first, or you can.
I missed a bit because the baby was crying. What's the topic at the moment?
So our topic now is, what is your take on Ghost Rallies? Is it a glitch or a hidden feature? And if you think it is a feature, what are the cons and pros of that feature?
Oof, I wasn't prepared for that question. So yeah, it feels more like a glitch because you can't start a rally in a normal situation. And to do it, you need to do all sorts of things to sidetrack it with multiple possibilities. So yeah, for me it feels more like a glitch or a bug. Personally, I probably wouldn't want it removed. Maybe because we're good at it. But yeah, maybe they should, because it shouldn't be happening like it is. But I don't really have a very big opinion about it, because both sides can do it. Both sides can train on how to work on it. Then maybe just make it more known if you're gonna let it in. Just explain how it works. Does give a certain edge to the situation, different possibilities. In terms of strategy, it does make it more interesting. There's a lot of different things you can do because of it. So that's my opinion about it.
Ghost rallies. You see, they are good and they are bad. Again, with the ghost rallies, you can use them as an advantage for state versus state. Not just for defenders, but especially for invaders. Well, of course, it takes a lot more strategy, a lot more work to actually use ghost rallies than to not use them. As for it being a glitch or a hidden feature, I personally think it was a glitch that was gone unnoticed for a very long time, and until someone that couldn't use it really complained about it. But like I said, it's an advantage, especially for invading states during state versus state. So, in my opinion, yes, it's a good thing to have. But then it's still a bad thing. But because it's been there for such a long time, I wouldn't say remove it, because it would literally make the game even more boring. It would. Then we wouldn't need a scout. We wouldn't need someone that's keeping an eye on the times. We wouldn't even need voice chat. We just use Alliance chat. Go, you go. That's it. The best thing about it is that it does give you an advantage before this new update that will come with the 2 hour and removing you from the capital 2 hours before. As an invading state, you had an advantage with it. You know, it helps you, even though you start 5 rows behind, it actually helps you as an invading state. But if the ghost rallies do go, then that is literally just starting a rally, head off there, just have another guy start the rally 5-10 minutes later. If they was to remove it, I would say add 1 minute, 2 or 3 minute rally instead of 5, 15, and so on. Just something to still be able to counteract the ghost rallies with, if that makes sense. Yeah, it would need something put in back if they was to remove it. But as of now, I think for a lot of states, it's actually a good feature.
Point taken. Thank you. Next will be Phoenix, followed by Nigan, and then Dr. Survivor.
Yes, I agree with Trip that it's a very good feature, and I hope it's a feature actually. Because without ghost rallies, it will be such a boring CC or SVS. So I hope it stays even with the next update. Because without ghost rallies, it will just be just 5-minute rallies and just go there, and we won't need voice chat for that. So yeah, I hope it stays.
My personal opinion is that it doesn't really matter whether it's a bug or a feature anymore. It's something that we as the players are using and factor into our strategies, whether we are defending or attacking. So essentially, this is one of the features, if I may say so, for the game now, for the CC battles. And it doesn't look like it's giving the unfair advantage to any side, because both sides can use that. And I fully agree with Batman that, you know, as much as the attackers can use it, so can the defenders. As long as you know the way of launching those rallies, I think there is no foul play, so to say. What are the cons and pros of the ghost rallies? Well, they add to the activity during the CC primarily. Nothing would be more boring than, you know, having only 2 or 3 rally leads launching the main rallies, and then everybody else, you know, waiting and clicking the heal button. So what the ghost rallies do is that they allow, you know, more players to be engaged in the game, and they allow the secondary leads to launch the rallies, and they allow the players with 1 star, with 2 stars to join, you know, various rallies. So basically you spread out your player base through those rallies, and I think it allows better participation of your allies in the CC. What are the cons of the ghost rallies? Well, I think the fact that you cannot see them is one big drawback, but as long as you can adapt to it, and as long as you can have a spotter saying that, you know, there is a rally launched from this player or that player, you're actually fine, more or less throughout the map of the CC. You know exactly basically what the march times are for each of the rally lead, you know, either your side or the opponent's side. So you can forecast when a ghost rally would land, and effectively you can counter that either with the refill or with another rally. So in a sense, if those rallies would be more visible, that would probably improve the whole strategy around them, and would take away, a player from spotting the rallies and allow that player to instead enjoy the game and feel the rallies, I guess. So yeah, I don't think it matters anymore whether it's a bug or not. We use it now. It's part of the game. I think the way we discovered the ghost rallies, it was around the second SVS. I remember Devon, you probably know him, guys. So Devon from State 80 and we were chatting about, the strategy and stuff like that. And I was like, whoa, you can do that. And this was kind of an eye-opener during the second SVS. It was an interesting thing to kind of play around with and kind of implement in the game.
All right, thank you guys. If I'm being asked about it, I think my opinion will be half and half. I mean, it might be a glitch, but then a lot of players are using it for months already. So there's no point of claiming it as a glitch, because some or majority of players who knows it are actually using it. And players also found out on how to counter ghost rallies. So if I were to be asked, I wanted it to be added as a feature, but then it is the job of the game or SOS to explain it to all the players, like write a guide about it and how it works so that it could be available for all the players.
As much as I'd like to agree with that, yes, it would be a good idea to have it explained in the game about it. And yes, I think that is good so that everybody knows. But they would need to do a lot of work to explain ghost rallies properly. Because as much as they can just say, yes, you can do a ghost rally, a lot of people will still get confused because they think, okay, I'll set the rally and then I'll get my alliance member to set another ghost rally. And then, they're thinking, well, how come I didn't win? Because I used ghost rallies and he didn't. A lot of players will think, yeah, I did it, he didn't, how did I lose? Well, it's not just about the ghost rallies. Like, I think it was Megan that said, it gives other people more reason to stay in game. Like, you've got Carl. Me, for example, I've got 4 guys in my alliance that work on timing. And then I've got 2 guys that work on the strategies for reservoir rate. I've got 2 guys that
Yeah, I'm here.
Trip, we cannot hear you, man.
I think that there was a glitch in Discord. Maybe I also got disconnected for like a brief moment.
I think we need to find a new spot to do a podcast next time. If Discord doesn't really work well. It gave up on us, guys.
I think it was me that had sound problems. Sorry, guys.
No, it was Discord's problem. So yeah, everyone got disconnected.
So the next question.
You're definitely gonna blame someone else.
Or we can just blame anyone. We start with Batman.
Blame Trip. All right.
That's okay. I'm used to it.
Okay, so I just want to add about this ghost rallies and everything is I think they are going to stop it or just fix it, because they have already launched Migo, and there is a buff which reduces your rally and march time in Migo, like for 50%. So I think they will accept it as a glitch and remove the ghost rallies altogether.
That's gonna make it so stale and boring. It's gonna be just like a boxing match with
Not
two
necessarily.
boxing. Like both of them are just gonna be standing there and punching each other without dodging. That's basically what it's gonna be. This is gonna be just launch a rally, launch another. And that's gonna be it. No timing, no nothing. As soon as you can, just launch.
It would require a different kind of teamwork. Like I've always made it a thing to not really share the strategies that we use in our YouTube videos, mostly because my state asked it. But regarding this situation, if you can't do ghost rallies anymore, you need to work together with a second alliance. And then that requires communication, strategy, spotting when somebody rallies something, and timing everything with the other alliance versus the enemy alliance. So there's still options after that, but I would still prefer ghost rallies, but yeah, options.
Yep.
Something to add to that. If they did remove the ghost rallies, and I'm speaking about my state, for example, I don't know about other states, so if they did remove ghost rallies, it means my state would have to literally get everyone into one alliance that has the power and has the ability to defend a rally from someone who's maxed, just to be able to fight during state versus state. That would mean you end up with 100 players in one top alliance, only so they can fight during state versus state. And that means more inactivity in state because the other players are bored now, so they can't join rallies due to still being stuck in the other alliance and not being able to fight a capital. Yes, you'd have to work more precise, more better with the other alliance, but we all know that a lot of us don't want to go through that trouble. But like I said, that's just personal opinion.
Yeah, I understand that. I like working together with a lot of people, so I get it.
Thank you guys. So
If they actually remove the ghost rallies, I think it would be a disadvantage to the states where there is one primary alliance battling for SVS, because then you won't be able to kind of launch the same amount of attacks as you would otherwise if you had the ghost rallies. And on the other side, you don't have the benefit of the second strong alliance that could support you and strategize with the second alliance, the timing of the hits, etc. So if we are speaking still about the older states where the activity has decreased significantly, removing the ghost rallies would actually make a lot of alliances uncompetitive anymore.
I think you make a good point over there, because oh, sorry.
And I, to be honest, I would support that change.
But like a lot of actions have consequences, and putting everyone strong in one state. I see a lot of states do this, but it leaves out a lot of players. And I do think that's something that's put on us and not on Kings Group, because we do that. It's not fun for a lot of other people. And in a way, if you remove Ghost Rally, you have to work together with the second alliance, which would motivate everybody to make at least 2 strong alliances in the state, which includes more players, including free-to-play players. So it's kind of like a double-edged blade. There's pros and cons for both situations.
Yeah, but Batman, in some states, you just don't have the player base to form the 2 strong alliances.
And that's
You
when
know,
we get
and-
the state mergers.
No, we're not getting any state
No, but
mergers
that's why it's
anytime soon.
needed.
So
Okay,
what I'm
so-
saying essentially is that before they start fixing the ghost rallies, I think there are other issues that they need to fix, and those other
Yeah,
issues
definitely.
are much more important, than the ghost rallies. I guess
Ghost
that's what I
Rally
was
is on the bottom of
driving
the
at.
list.
Yeah.
But we all know they're going to be fixing things that are not so important first, right?
Yeah, this is probably gonna get removed.
Okay, anyone from the listeners who wants to ask any questions for the panel or wants to speak up, come on stage, just raise your hand. We'll just accept you.
Okay,
Before we
wait,
move
can I
on
just say
to-
something?
Yeah, sure.
What's the opinion on the fact that only one alliance's total time in the capital counts for who wins SVS? It's state versus state, not one top alliance against another top alliance. I really think the sum of all alliances that held capital from one state should be counted for who, not just one alliance. It would contribute a lot more teamwork between alliances, and it wouldn't, even if they remove ghost rallies, if they added that where it's total time of all alliances from the state, that would kind of act like ghost rallies, but it would require a lot more teamwork between alliances for it to work.
I agree. It would help. I don't know how other states do it, but during SVS, when we use like a second alliance to knock out those holding capital, they have to like leave the center really quickly, and like the main alliance that's getting the time has to like speed in to the center to try to get as much time as possible. Yeah, so it'll be a bit weird. But if they changed it, it would be good. If the whole state would be able to contribute to the time. However, the problem that comes with that is, how do you choose the governor? Will it be the alliance that has the most time within the state that wins? Will it be the person who holds it at the end? Will it be, I don't know, like they'll have to think about a lot of things if they do that.
Wouldn't most time from the state work?
It will, but
Hold
yeah.
it the most.
For different events, they have different things. For bunker, it's the last person in. For capital, it's the longest time. So
Someone asked me a while ago if holding it last in CC would result in you winning regardless of time, because they read it somewhere in the rules of CC, which I think they removed. But it was saying it in the rules.
wow.
Actually, at one point there was in PTR that the time at CC actually reset once you get taken out. But I would actually agree, during state versus state, it would be good if each alliance contributed to the state occupation time instead of that alliance's occupation time. Of course, the whole who's going to choose what governor afterwards means would have to fall down to the state itself. So yeah, it wouldn't be easy to sort it within the state, but that would be better, in my opinion, if the time contributed from each alliance was for the whole state during state versus state.
So I know
That would be a
for
very good change, actually, to have state timer during the SVS. That actually makes a lot of sense, and it's logical because you are battling the states, not alliances among the states.
I mean, they have done a
Sorry.
they have done a good start with it by having the towers to not fire at the alliance that's from the same state. So I don't see why not add the timer as well to it. So
Yes, that's the moment that I want to take attention on because I'm playing in different states, and sometimes during STS I'm playing against myself, so I have a lot of funny experience in those. The difference between heroes sometimes play a big part in fight, and if against some states you can easily kick someone from capital area, in another states, for example, now before we have that, before 5 generation comes, state 210 have that problem because before in during STS they have no problems with kicking players from their capital area. They always win the prep, and then they come to another state. They always burning guys for sports to have a good sports in their area, and they have STS and they join another state and they can't kick anyone, and that was a real problem for them. And during STS, our opponents, always guys with also different stats, also different players. Some states, I'm playing, my main is 199 state. I also played in 198, 210, and all our SDS opponents, because I have over 30 alts in all that states. Because I'm the one who occupy area in another states, and I have over 40 sports, 45 sports in capital area in another state for all my ally. Yeah. So that thing with changing rules for capital area is very important for me, because at first I'm losing that moment, then I can occupy area in another state. So before 1 week before capital fight was very fun for me, always keeping bubbles and look into their chat. Now I need to make just one spy alt, and I can check the guys and look into them all the time. And also I use Ghost Rally in different states. I'm in different allies, rank 1 or top 10, no matter. I'm playing in different levels, and that's very cool that we can do that. But also, yes, joining other allies or making 2 strong allies, 1 kicker, 1 holder, is also very interesting. All the ways then you communicate with other guys is very interesting. So Ghost Rally also can be used if you don't have enough joiners. You just put 2 rally leaders, more than 5 minutes difference, and you will start your Ghost Rally and use your own troops again and again. So yes, yes. So thank you very much, Batman, Teddy. I look into your videos. They were very interesting for you, or for me, sorry. So that's all I want to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mal. The next person, we have a few people up on the stage. We have Nebraska, Uncle Gio. I'm calling him Uncle Gio. He's my uncle, but not really. Thurbird, and then Mopa. And then you guys got any opinion or feedback on what we have discussed previously for the past 1 hour? Maybe we should start with Uncle Gio. and then followed by Thorbert, and then TBF guy.
Hello. I like to give my spot now to my friend, my good friend Maupa from State 26. I like him to speak first. Maupa, the floor is yours. Please, Teddy, allow me that to give my spot to Maupa. Hello, Maupa.
Hello, everybody. Um, with the new changes, as I have seen now, it's all good and it's all fine and all great. But to be honest, I'm a little bit. I don't like the idea as 26 is for sure an old state. We maybe not that active anymore, and we see it on S4S that we got in problems when we fight active state. But how you wanna do it that we still keep smaller players playing as the gap gets bigger and bigger, and I see it in my state, my alliance. Yes, people are really doing best to stay in the game, but with the new rules of S4S, a plasma 3, 4 or less a 5 has no chance to have a 5-minute stay in the area, yes, because he gets directly attacked, yes, and you cannot really help everyone. I think this game changed really to too much, not on tactics and strategy. It's goes down really to goes down really to a point where normal players cannot be involved. Yes, it's like seeing on my alliance I have maybe 25 players that can really be involved in the state versus state. All others have no change because they are plasma 4, maybe plasma 5, but they're whole over with the new gears and all the stuff. It's ridiculous. Yes, I'm sorry, but I'm really sad because I'm playing this game from pretty the beginning of, and it's turns in a joke, to be honest. I don't know on myself what I have to do. I have maybe all the steps to do it, but with a statement. Okay, you have done the great team, but all the players you really want to play with because that's your friends, because you're playing them from the beginning, and maybe they have not the money to put in this game. Until now, they could always play, but now it's with the new state versus state and capital clash, they cannot go in this area. They cannot really fought with me. So in the end, it's only for the states. When I playing in 205 and I seeing how much money they spend, it's ridiculous money they put in, and it's not more an honor to be on this level because it's only money. Yeah, it's easy for them. Maybe I don't know where they rich kids or whoever it is, but it's the point of strategy, the point of tactics, the point of working together. It's getting lower and lower, and in the end, it's if you spend the most money, you're the big player for sure. And until now, it was always as a big player you could always keep the people together to fight together. But now, with the rules, with all the changes, you cannot help your players anymore, and that's make me more and more sad, and my demotivation is more and more in this game. So I would like to know how this can be protected, because we have like 1 million states now. Yeah, maybe they can move 2 millions more, and for sure there is quick money for everybody, but to be honest, the heart and soul of this game, what I have learned on the beginning when I started, it's like I lost it a little bit. So I don't know. It's all nice events, but yeah. So
Okay.
that's my opinion.
Sorry to interrupt, Mopa and everyone else who are into the speaking stage right now, but we have two more questions we need to cover in this podcast. So we'll ask the panelists about the next set of questions. It's what do you think about state merge or migration? How it should be done, or like, do we need state merge or migration, or is it like okay with what it is right now? Batman?
No, Batman left.
Okay.
Shall I start? Shall I?
Yes,
Leo.
Uncle. The question
Okay.
is, what is your...
Yes, I know the question. Yes, I know the questions. Thank you guys for inviting me. I'm Geo Rider from State 29. My clan is Zwarte Wolves Zwe. I agree with Maupa. I agree with the points of Maupa. And to add more about what he said, he gave the heart and soul of why merges needed. Why not also merges, but migration, because some guys might want to go to a competitive alliance, to a competitive mega state, or whatever they're going to add, and want to play, for example, with his friends or with a great alliance, number one alliance or something. So if migrations get allowed, some guys will going to the Champions League team. Let me use the football term. Some other guys are going to stay with their team, and they're going to get some people together, some friends, some guys that they want to keep on, perhaps not so much bigger team, but a competitive team. And that is good. And I say, what we need most is a combo of migration and state merge. But as Nigan said, I don't think it's going to happen so soon. And I think what they must start from, where they must start from older states 1 to 20 or even to 30, I don't know. My state is close to Maupa, but it's active. We are fine so far. But yes, Maupa said about the money and the more add-ons and the demandings of the game. That also might kill the players. That also might make players to say, for how long? For how long I must spend? How much money I am going to spend a house or a car or a boat in a mobile game? I agree with the tactics. I agree with the strategy. And as I write down in the panel, for me, Ghost Rallies, it's an unethical way of fighting, but it's a bad design of the system. A bad design of the system with many of us using. So the conclusion is, as I said, we need a combo of migration and stage merges. For example,
okay, thank you, Gio. Let's
yeah.
hear from another players, another panelist who are here. Dr. Survivor, what's your take on it?
I think it's important, based on like activity in states, like older states, like even in my state that isn't that old, like we're not a year old yet, state mergers are like, we're looking forward to it. There's a lot of people that are like, I can't wait till state merges, like the game's going to get so much better. They're waiting for it to happen, as they're not like really enjoying the game as it is currently, and they're hoping that like by meeting new people and having more competition in certain aspects, that will bring more interest in the game and new things to look forward to. And it is mostly in like higher like spending players and that sort of thing. There isn't much competition for them. There's not many people that can beat them other than like the only people that can beat them are the other max players. And so it's not really enjoyable for them to be sitting in center the whole time or like fighting for bunkers and facilities and that sort of thing, because there's no like real fight. Whereas like fights between smaller players or like not max players, they seem to be more enjoyable because there's more like fairness to the fight. You're not fighting a wall, you're fighting something that you can actually fight and win, and it's like more even for both sides. But yeah, I think just having more people to have alliances, like to be in alliances, is a good thing. My only concern with state mergers is if we were to move to other alliances, like will alliances stay together? Will they need to join alliances that are already currently in the state that you're moving to? Like it will change a lot of things, and I think it will be unsettling for a lot of people, because if you have to build your alliance straight from the ground, it's not going to happen. You have to join alliances that are already existing, and they're not going to have places for your whole alliance in their alliance. The rank 1 alliance in one state isn't going to be the rank 1 alliance in the new state. It's not going to be the same. At the moment, our like big alliances have up to maybe even more than 75 active like main accounts in them, and in states surrounding us where the mergers will happen, you can't fit 75 people into an alliance that already has 75 people. So families that have been made in the last, I think, 10 months will drastically change, and I think that will become unsettling for a lot of people, because a lot of people play the game for the people at this stage, and they're staying because of the relationships they've made with people. So having to change alliances and the people that you play with will change people's aspect of how they look at the game, and probably will cause a lot of people to leave, but also more people to have more interest. It'll have its pros and cons. If that's helpful at all.
Yeah, that's really good suggestion. Like how you can implement mergers between states is going to be a difficult thing already. Like they do have, I think, the idea how they are going to do it, but still they are holding back about, I don't know, because of the Migo event, they are not launching it, or maybe some of the works in the background. But still, state mergers